The 20th ASEAN Regional Forum was held in Bandar Seri Begawan, Brunei recently and ended in success. The biggest issue of the forum was the topic of denuclearization on the Korean peninsula. Korea's foreign minister held meetings with his counterparts from Japan and Russia. Foreign Ministry correspondent Hwang Sung-hee was in Brunei delivering the story live via telephone. Korea became the first Asian nation to implement the refugee law in July. Korea is becoming the venue for refugees fleeing from countries in Asia and Africa who are seeking asylum in Korea for political, racial, and religious reasons. The number is staggering and has surpassed 5,000 in recent years. But Korea's acceptance rate of refugees is extremely low because of the difficult process. Reporter Ji-yeon met with a refugee registration case and looked into the issues surrounding the refugee law.
South Korea's unification.
The North Korean issue has become a hot issue once again. On the afternoon of July 3rd, North Korean authorities contacted the South Korean government through the direct line at Panmunjom. The resumption in communication comes after the cancellation of a South-North high-level meeting last month. The North said that it would allow the entry of business personnel and administrative committee members of the Kaesong Industrial Complex. This sparked a request by the South Korean government for a South-North working-level meeting at Panmunjom on July 6th to discuss the Kaesong Industrial Complex issue. Reporter Ji-yeon covered the developments surrounding the Kaesong Industrial Complex, which was shuttered in early April.
지명길, Arirang News.
Many look forward to their summer vacation as the highlight of their entire year. Vacation season is officially here, along with the summer heat and the start of summer break for students nationwide.
Well, we're now in the beginning of July, and July and August mark summer, and I think it was important to let people know of the information that they needed to plan their vacation, because this is the time of the year they plan the vacation of the year. And I've been preparing for this report since June because I wanted to give them the right information on the right time of like where to go and when to go and the trend of the vacationing here in Korea. So I think that was the whole point of preparing and covering the story to air it on the first week of July.
Now, the central regions expect the biggest amount of over 150 millimeters through Thursday, so don't be surprised and please be prepared.
It's the morning of the shoot, but heavy rain starts to pour down. Reporter Song Ji-sun is scheduled to make several live reports on the topic of summer vacations, including for Korea Today and the news, but she's faced with an obstacle.
휴가 관련된 여러 가지의 데이터를 조금 많이 찾아서 재밌는 걸로만 이렇게 좀 할 수 있게끔. 휴가지 어디를 많이 가느냐.
Ji-sun discusses the situation with the Korea Today staff.
휴가 뭐 음식 문화 같은 거라든지.
원래는 오늘 이제 길거리 인터뷰 해가지고 어디 가실 거예요? 그럼 전 어디 가고 며칠 갈 거예요? 이렇게 하려고 했는데 비가 쏟아지는 바람에 진짜 그래서 아침 내내 고민하다가 그러면 스크린이라도 해야겠다라는 결론을.
She has to act fast. She decides to scrap the shoot and chooses an alternative way to cover the story about summer vacation trends.
I have to go on a 길거리 interview and it's boring.
그러니까 차라리 퀄리티 몰이 났죠. 근데 아니 왜냐면 샵 들어가면 거리에서 뭐 하는 거.
거리에서 아무도 안 해줄걸요? 이 날씨에.
길거리에서?
네, 누가요 길거리에서?
실내 갈 때 또 있나?
아니 퀄리티몰 제일 좋아하지.
Before I go out to shoot, I had several plans to go out and shoot the story, and one of them was going out in a water park because that was the hot news spot a lot of people search for, and it was forecast to rain all throughout the week, and that means that you have no chance to go out and shoot in the field or outdoor. So I was left out with very little chance of delivering the story, given the forecast and the weather. So I was pretty desperate and very disappointed that I may not be able to cover the story as fully as I wanted to. But I try to stick to my plan, and instead I try to give them more information on the figures and more of facts that they would make use of when making those plans, and that I incorporated through showing more graphics and the numbers, the latest figures that came from Korea's tourism ministry. 여기 할까 여기? 여기서 말하는가?
Spontaneously, she approaches people and tries to convince them to do an interview in the busy mall where people are generally unwilling to stop.
안녕하세요. 저희 아리랑 TV에서 나왔는데요. 혹시 여름 휴가 계획에 대해서 한마디만 말씀해 주실 수 있으세요?
저 지금 바빠서.
감사합니다. 빨리. 안녕하세요. 저희 아리랑 TV에서 나왔는데요. 네, 혹시 여름 휴가 계획에 대해서 한 말씀만 저희 한 10초 정도만 어디를 갈 계획이다라고 말씀해 주시면 되는데 저 혹시 휴가 계획에 대해서 한마디만 말씀해 주시면 될까요?
Finally, by sheer luck, 3 people agree to do the interview.
각자 진짜 서요? 미혼이시죠? 네. 올해 휴가 계획을 어디로, 언제, 누구랑 같이 간다는 어떻게 잡으셨어요?
우선 8월 초쯤에 싱가포르 생각하고 있고요. 네, 친구들이랑 같이 갈 예정이에요.
일정은 비용하고 일정은 어떻게 잡으셨어요?
비용은 한 인당 100 좀 넘게 들 것 같고요. 일정은 한 3, 4박 정도?
이 전년도에 비해서 휴가 비용 좀 줄이거나 그러시는 편이세요?
그렇죠. 휴가비에 대해서 좀 많이 부담은 되는데, 예, 그거에 대해서 좀 일정을 줄이거나 아니면 좀 더 멀리 갈 계획이었는데 좀 가까운 데로 간다거나 그렇게 갈 계획이에요.
네. 감사합니다.
7월 중순에 캄보디아하고 베트남 갔다 오셨어요.
비용하고 일정은 어느 정도로 잡고 계세요?
지금 주말 껴서 한 9일 정도, 그 비용은 한국으로 한 200만 원 정도 생각했습니다.
길게 잡으신 것 같은데 부담은 없으세요?
자주 가 쓰는 거 아니니까 좀 무리가 되더라도 한 번씩 가는 게 좋을 것 같아서 계획했습니다.
네, 감사합니다. 난 해외로 가본 적이 없는데, 참, 그냥 이게 트렌드인가 봐요.
올해 다 해.
올해는
없어?
As far as numbers are concerned, you can't always trust them, and you need the words of the people. And what you hear on the street may be different from what figures say. So I always try to hear from the people and what they think on a certain issue, because even though figures say half of Koreans will head out in the last week of July, some may not, and some may look for unique or exotic destinations. So I went out to hear their plans, and it was really surprising, and that was quite a turnaround to hear their stories, because it was not what I expected. More people were actually planning on going overseas trip instead of going to domestic destinations. And that also reflected the trend of Korean people choosing to travel abroad. And that was also expressed in the figures I had. So that proved more Koreans are choosing to go to overseas for their vacations. And I think that's a way of giving the viewers credibility that you are delivering a story that actually expresses what people think.
Ji-sun gets busy preparing the CG right after coming back from the shoot. She goes through the immense amount of data and checks the figures and the graph.
일단 내용은
여름 휴가 트렌드인데 일단 가장 큰 것들을 좀 강조하고 이거 하나 지도 나오고 얘네가 뭐 하나씩 나오고 그래서 여기 같은 경우도 강원도가 제일 많은 거고 그냥 남한 지도에 이렇게 넣으면 될 것 같아요. 그리고 이건 그냥 간단한 건데 이게 그 출국자들 국내보다 외국으로 더 많이 나간다. 잠깐만, 이게 앞에 게 2012, 2013.
들어가셔서 연무가 있는지 없는지 좀 체크해 보시고요.
Ji-yeon attends a briefing for the script reading a day before the live appearance on Korea Today.
하다 보니까 좀 새로운 것들이 많이 발견돼서 일단은 예전처럼 해수욕장을 많이 가지 않고 검색어에서 워터파크나 캠핑 이런 게 더 많이 올라왔대요. 그리고 실제로 제가 이걸 일단 제가 터치스크린으로 한다고 말씀을 드렸는데 저희가 길거리 인터뷰를 했을 때도 거의 10에서 9은 자기는 외국 갈 거다. 돈 좀 더 쓰더라도 가기 위해서 뭐 돈을 모았고 이런 사람들이 많아서 일단 그 통계는 거기까지 나가고
왜 이런 것들인지를 좀 찾아보셔서 Where하고 to하고 좀 띄워야겠다.
그러게요.
얘 여기 쓴다는 가정하에 얘를 이쪽으로 좀 몰아준다. 그렇지? 왼쪽 좀 그렇지. 이것도 근데 이 송 기자가 있죠.
Discussions are underway among staff from the CG team and the producer ahead of tomorrow's live show.
When preparing graphics for a news report, you have to have certain things in mind. Minimize the numbers and make it as simple as possible. Because people are not as well aware of the fact that you're trying to deliver, and they're only going to get more confused and just puzzled when you deliver a lot of numbers and a lot of items because they're not paying as attention as you wish they were. And it's important that you deliver the right facts, just at certain points. And to do that, you have to minimize the numbers to just using maybe 3 bars in a bar graph. And you also have to choose the effective way to deliver your fact. For example, if you want to accentuate that half of Koreans choose to go to the mountains, you utilize the pie graph because half of the circle will reflect the half of Koreans will be choosing mountains. And if you want to portray proportions of people who are spending maybe $100, $200, or $300, you use a bar graph to show like how many people are choosing to spend as much. So I think it's important that you choose the right graphic and the right picture to have those delivered effectively to your viewers. And it's not just always good to use graphics all the time. So you also have to think about when to use graphics and when to use footages, when to insert interviews to support your argument that you want your viewers to comprehend.
With only 2 hours left before the live appearance on Summer Vacation Trends, Ji-yeon gives final confirmation on the images in the editing room.
그대로 남아 있는 거고
그대로 걸려 있다가
인터뷰는 그냥 VCR로 나오고
그다음에 질문 갖다가
질문하면
타이틀로 시작하고 그다음부터 1번, 2번, 3번, 4번, 3번까지 갔다가
하나, 둘, 셋, 5번째 게 그다음에 6번째.
She comes down to the live studio after making final adjustments with the program's producer.
그러면은 그 사이에 인터뷰 그 토크하기 전에 VCR이 하나 있거든요.
끝날 때쯤 돼가지고 1분 전입니다.
The live broadcast starts with the opening teaser.
Good morning and welcome to Korea Today.
Do you have plans for a vacation this summer? We'll show you the latest trend on when and to where most Koreans are headed.
Ji-yeon goes through the opening without a glitch.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. You're watching Korea Today. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for joining us. And if you are up this morning watching,
She practices her script and motions while a different segment is underway.
Good morning. We're now heading into the first weekend of July, and that means the peak summer season has arrived here in Korea. Now, a number of Koreans have already left for their holiday destinations, but the biggest exodus of the year is yet to come. Now, if you still haven't booked or planned your vacation just yet, try to clear steer the last week of July, because that's when
the story about summer vacation trends required last-minute changes in the details of graphic design, letter sizes, and locations.
Popular holiday destination here in Korea. But overall, beaches are not the only places losing visitors in the nation, as more Koreans are choosing to spend their holidays overseas. While 9 out of the 10 Koreans still choose to spend their holidays in the country, the number of people planning overseas vacations has more than tripled over the last period since last year.
The shooting schedule was canceled because of the rain. However, reporters Hwang Ji-hye did not get discouraged and instead took an alternative path with a new perspective on the story.
I think another perspective, I think it was a different approach of telling people stories of their vacation and their planning, because although we all know that we go to vacations, we don't know what other people are doing, like when they're going or how much they spend on a vacation. So I think it gave them a big picture of how Koreans spend their vacations and where and when they go. So instead of showing them like how fun it is and how cool it is to go like bathing in the beaches, I think it was another way to give viewers information with a brief outline of Korea's vacationing trend. So I think that actually served as a very informative report, people who are preparing their vacation at the beginning of the summer. And of course, there were some other ways that I could have complemented this report by showing them more sites, more interesting tourist spots, and some new activities they don't know of. So I'm trying to make another report on that story in the coming weeks.
잠깐 앉아보세요.
여기 앉아요.
이건 좀 여자다.
양가시가 조금 너무 이렇게 뭉쳐 있어서. 손도 편하게. 네, 그런 거 괜찮아. 야, 했다. 이거. 거기 가리지 말고 한번 더 할게요. 자, 마지막으로.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Song. Do you need some time to set up
Yes.
camera or?
Yes, we need some kind of setup. You know, because the background is very flat. And for a documentary, we need some flat.
How are you?
Hi, nice
Pleasure
to meet
to
you.
see you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
So I understand it's a project about Korea.
Yeah, it's about Korea and India, and we are marking 40 years of this deep relationship. So can you just tell me your name and little about the channel, what you do?
Before we start, could you please change your...
This is one side of the jacket. Okay. Okay. Right. I said that's the style, please. That's the fashion. Just leave it. That's okay.
I never argue with the cameraman. That is a big no-no.
As a producer, I'm always arguing with the cameraman.
Okay. We are rolling?
Sure. My name is Ji-yeon, Ji-yeon in Western style. I am the president and CEO of Arirang TV and radio.
In the northeastern part of India, the Korean cinema and Korean soaps are very popular. Do you have any idea about this popularity in India, and are you aware of the reasons why is it so?
We know that in the northeastern part of India especially, there is a great amount of audience response actually of our channel. So we are well aware. Very grateful, and it's something that we are looking to expand upon.
What is your take on Bollywood, and do you think that in any way the Koreans are hooked onto it?
It's not something that Korea does or does well. It doesn't do it very much, and so I think there is a lot of ways that it would be something that is new for Korea, that will open its eyes to a different type of culture, especially the Indian culture. As Korea's culture becomes more international, the international culture will then come into Korea, and Korea will become much more multicultural as well. And relatively so untapped, I see a method. So everything sort of worked together.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This is a small souvenir of your visit to Arirang TV.
Today it was beyond us.
인도에서 다큐멘터리를 한국 관련된 걸 찍는데 사장님 인터뷰를 하고 내려왔거든? 그 스튜디오에 조금만 좀 찍을게요.
Over in the presidential office of Korea. Now, President Park collaboration with China for a visit. Now, President Park in his visit, 4-day visit to China, condition
Which is the drama?
Just up there.
Thank you so much.
구독자 고마워요.
So much. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.